Welcome to the H series of webinars. This series is aimed at new and aspiring sheep producers to give them a step up into the Queensland sheep industry. This How to Sell Wool webinar is part 8 of the series and explores the basics of selling and marketing your wool. This webinar was delivered by Mark Hedley, who is the Queensland and New South Wales State Wool Manager at Australian Wool Network on the 15th of September 2020. This is clip 3 of 3 and covers the wool pipeline part 2.
Export. So at the time that container is completed, it's moved onto our ports to go on the ships. And that shipping process, something that a lot of people don't realise, that most wool, when it hits the ship and that ship sails, is actually the point of payment for most exporters. That's when their letter of credit matures, and that's when they get paid. Wool growers, on the other side, wool growers get paid depending on their broker. Most are 7 days prompt from the Friday of the end of sale week. Some are 14 days prompt from the end of sale week. And something that the wool industry is unique for, and it is quite an important part of our wool industry, is that we don't ship bales of wool to the dump unless payment is cleared in the bank account. So every morning before we ship wool to dumps, if for some reason a buyer has not completed payment, that wool will not leave the wool store. And it's a very strong form of security for wool growers. So if for some unforeseen reason a company folded, a buying company, they wouldn't actually have the product. They may own the product, but it would still be held in our wool stores unless it's paid for. Moving on from there, mills. Obviously, there are a variety of mills depending on the process, whether it's a worsted system, whether it's our cardings, or whether it's going in knitwear. There's a variety of different processes through there. On to consumers, and that's probably the biggest thing we're missing right here, right now in our market is with COVID, our consumers they're certainly not purchasing as much of our product as we would like to see. And probably the biggest point there is COVID hit. A lot of people are working from home, and hence they aren't putting on their suits to go into the major cities and work in the high rises. Yeah, that's something that we desperately need to come back into our wool industry to see this market turn around and get us back to levels that are more conducive to growing wool across Australia. Probably the big thing to remember about our woolen product is the next step is where it's recyclable and biodegradable. There's a big talk around the world about microplastics and how polyester and all these different products are ending up into microplastics throughout our waterways and affecting our marine life. The beauty of wool is by the time it gets to that point, if it gets to a micro point in our waterway, it actually becomes a food. It is protein and it will be reconsumed, and that's probably the beauty of our natural fibre being wool.
Thank you for watching this short clip. For more information, please visit www.leadingsheep.com.au.